and I'm going to go for a tie-in point that's at 55 feet up there. Last I used this, I coiled it up with my thumb and pinky, and I like doing it that way because it doesn't put any tension or twist in your throw line or rope. The problem I found is often when I would unspool it, I'd end up with some tangles and bird nests. And I've found a way to untangle it. This may be obvious to many of you. This is a good way to unspool it where I don't end up with tangles. When I tie it up, you know, I'll throw it in my bag. This has been in my bag traveling with me for a little while, and we'll see how well it uncoils. Now there was the inside, and I'll do this backwards. When I coil it up, I'll demonstrate. But this was the beginning when I did coil it. So if I start from the back side and start to flake it out, I find that I can flake this out without getting any tangles. And again, this is 180 feet of throw line. And if I tried to unspool it from the other side, I am certain that I would end up with tangles. Okay, there's my 180 feet flaked out, and it's in the grass, so I can throw with this. I'm done coiling up my throw line, assuming again I'm not using a cube. I just put a slippery half hitch on the end of that, put that over my thumb, and I start the wind. We'll go fast forward here in a minute. Take it and I wrap this tight. When I wrap this tight, that'll keep the line configured for the unwind. Take that, pass it through. Okay, so there's the one. This is a 12-ounce bag. I usually throw with a 12-ounce bag and a 1.75 millimeter zinget. Sometimes if I'm trying to get real high, I'll use a 1.4 millimeter line and an 8-ounce bag. But this I find like works pretty well for me. I'll almost always girth hitch it. The reason I like a girth hitch is when I throw it, I almost always let the bag run to the ground, and then it's easy to untie. And then I'll put on a 20-ounce bag and bring that back up and work it through the tree if I need to be working it through the tree. But there's the girth hitch. I snug it on. If I'm doing a cradle toss, typical cradle toss like that, sometimes I'll use an underhand toss, and I just take that cradle toss configuration and I put it over my finger, and that gives me a good grip to toss. Okay, that was a good toss. It's up over the branch that I want. So now we'll work this one back over the branch. I don't want this one to come off, so I put a slippery half hitch in there. That will pull through the rest of the canopy. Alright, if you can hear me over the band, now that I've got my line up off the ground and I'm elevated, I don't think anybody will know I'm here. It's fun to sit in a park when people don't know you're watching. Okay, that's gonna be good. Yes, indeed. I have no idea. Okay, once again, to unwind it, I uncoil my loops that were wrapped tight. And there's the beginning. I find that if I take where I started the beginning and I uncoil from the beginning, I don't get any tangles. Okay, and there's my line ready to go. Hola, perro. See, that was a pretty good toss. I just have to work it past the little branch. So I'm going to take my 20-ounce bag and again girth hitch it to my throwline midline. It's a heavy enough bag that I can bring it back down midline. Sometimes if I keep the tail with me on the ground, I can pull it back if that one starts to get hung up.